Hi everyone, this is Tessa from Tessa and Scarlett Online Marketing Success, and in this video I will reveal the secrets of the matrix of Futurenet. I have been in Futurenet for a bit over a week now, and it's a quite exciting program with lots of money earning opportunities. There are like two main pillars in Futurenet to earn a bunch of money, and one pillar is the revenue share program, which is called Futurenet Pro. The other one is the matrix. And during this week, lots and lots of people asked me, oh, can you explain me how the matrix works? Because I agree, it's not easy. And if you're not used to these kinds of things, it may seem a bit complicated. It is. So what did I do? I'm not a numbers person. I have no problem admitting that. I'm a language person, I'm a marketing person, I'm a people person, but I'm not a numbers person. So what do you do when you're not a numbers person? You just ask an expert to explain something to your people. So here you go. I invited an expert to elaborate on the matrix and to explain in a simple, understandable way to you how the matrix in Futurenet works. Okay, so here it comes. Listen carefully. If you don't understand it from the first time, repeat, listen again. Even I could understand it after watching the video, so if I could, so can you. Okay, stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Hey, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on which side of the world you're at when you're listening to this video. Several people asked me to give an explanation of how the matrix works in Futurenet, because there is quite some confusion about that because of the multiple businesses and the combination of the businesses. Let's make one thing straight from the beginning. If people want to look at advertisements and make money on the advertisement revenue share, they are not obliged to buy the matrix. Yes, it is a smart thing to do in addition, but they are not obliged to do that to be able to generate a recurring income from the ad revenue share program. So the matrix is really on top of that. So let's have a look at how the matrix works. If you're logged in to your portal, you have this item down here which says business. So we're going to go ahead and click on that business item, and I will see two things appearing. I have the friends tree back office. This is actually where the matrix is positioned and where the matrices are involved, because it consists of 6 different matrices. Below you have the Futurenet Pro, which is the advertising revenue share program that many people know, or that most people know. So now we're going to talk a bit about the friends tree back office. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Normally, if you do not have this registered yet, all these icons will be gray instead of blue or yellow, because the business member icons are yellow, as you can see. So this example on my personal account, I have taken all 6 levels of the matrix, and I'm going to explain briefly why that is. So what is each of these matrices? Remember, if somebody withdraws money from whatever profit they make through being a member of Futurenet, 5% of their withdrawal is put into a savings wallet to what we call feed the matrix. Now, feeding the matrix means that the person gets a position in the matrix. First in the $10 matrix. Okay. Once that position in the $10 matrix is secured, the savings in that 5% of the savings or of every withdrawal accumulate again until it reaches 25, and then the $25 matrix position is secured. And then the $50 matrix position is secured, and then 100, then 500, and then 1,000. Now, the reason why you see all these matrix positions here already activated is because I decided to purchase them. Now, there are reasons to do that. There might also be reasons not to do that. It all depends on you and your personal flavor or your personal favorites. So let's just take the $10 matrix here to show you an example of how that works. So I'm going to scroll down a bit here. Okay. And what you will see here is this first position here, that is me. Okay, so that is my position, and I have sponsored some people. So the people that I have sponsored have a green blob in their little body, because my little man here is green, and other people that I have not sponsored, which are therefore overflow from my upline, are basically without a blob. So people that are sponsored by me are with a blob. People that are not sponsored by me directly are without a blob. Now, what is the nice thing about this in the $10 matrix as an example? Every time somebody falls into this matrix, I make 5% of the fee of that person joining that matrix. So if this person here, as an example, paid $10 to join the matrix, regardless where that came from, whether he funded it, whether it came from a withdrawal from the ad revenue share program, or whether he got it with the voucher from somebody else, or whether he paid for it with bitcoins or whatever, I don't care. He fell into my matrix, therefore I got 5% of whatever fee he paid for this $10 matrix, which means 5% of $10. Now 5% of $10, that's not that much, that's half a buck. And that's fine because this is the lowest matrix. But imagine this happening at the $1,000 matrix. At the $1,000 matrix, 5% means $50. Now, how big is this matrix and how does the mechanism work? The matrix is 3 by 10. You clearly see that here you have 1, 2, 3 members at the first layer, then you have 9 members at the next layer, you have 27 members at the layer above. Okay, so this matrix going 10 levels deep means that you have in total, if you accumulate all of those positions, 88,500 and something positions. Now that means 88,500 and some members in the matrix for this main position. And keep in mind there are 6 matrices. 3 matrices in blue, 3 matrices in yellow. The reason why the matrices are in yellow for the business partnership is extremely important, and I will explain that later. So let's go ahead and have a look at a calculation. So this is called the matrix. You understand why that picture is there, I think. Okay. Now you have the matrices: $10, $25, $50, 100, 500, and the highest matrix of 1,000. 3 levels wide, 10 levels deep. So 10 levels deep means in total up to this level. So in total you have 88,572 positions per matrix. Okay. For the first level of the $10, if every member, if that matrix is filled up, so let's assume that matrix gets filled up at some point. Okay. Let's assume that. So that means that in total 88,000 euro or dollars has been injected into that matrix. For the $25 matrix, that would be 2.2 million. For the $50 matrix, that would be 4.4 million. 8.8 million for the next one, 44 million for the $500 matrix, and 88 million injected for the 1000 matrix until that is filled up with 88,000 positions. Now obviously the higher the matrices go, the slower it goes, the more time it takes for people to reach that level, unless when people decide to buy into that level immediately for the reasons that are obvious. Why? Because let's just imagine and this is reality, I'll show you afterwards, if you get 5% commission on the fees that people pay for their membership of that matrix, that means the first level matrix, if it gets saturated, if it is completely filled up, will give you a return of 44,000. The next one 110,000, the next one 221,000, 400,000, 2 million, 4 million. So in total all matrices accumulated give you a total of 7.4 million. Okay, now that is a heck of a lot of money, guys. I mean, this is really serious. Okay, now the reason why the $100 one is so important. Okay, let's explain this here. Once I reach the $100 matrix, I am entitled to a matching bonus. Matching bonus means that whichever member I subscribed and sponsored directly, regardless where they are in the structure and in the matrix, as soon as they make money, regardless where it comes from, in the matrix, I get 50% of whatever they make. So the matching bonus is actually very strong. That's the reason why if people want to secure a position in the matrix, I tell them, guys, put 185 bucks in there. 185 bucks, why? That buys you the first 4 levels of the matrix. You can always decide later to upgrade to the 500 or the 1001. But at least take the first fourth level, guys. Okay, so at least take the first 4 levels and decide if you have the funding to do it, to upgrade to the 500 and the 1000 matrix as well. It is definitely worth it. So let's go ahead and have a look back here. You see some earnings here. I've been into this program actually for a week. Okay, I've been promoting it a little bit, but not even exaggerated. But there are some commissions coming in. So what do you see here on my structure? And let's just scroll down here. You see here friends bonuses, matching bonuses, social media bonuses. That is from using the social media platform itself. Okay, so you see some different amounts on different days, etc., etc. Okay, so guys, this is pure passive, 100% revenue coming in from the matrices on top of the ad revenue share. Okay, so once more, every person that falls into the matrix, regardless where they are, and the matrix is with a forced auto placement mechanism, which I will explain in a second. Regardless where they are in every one of the matrices, you get 5% of the fee that that person paid to get into the matrix. Okay. So how does the auto placement work? Let's go back to the home side here and take a matrix. Actually, I'm going to take a different one here. I'm going to take the $50 matrix because that should be emptier than the other one. Okay, fine. So here's the $50 matrix. Let's take this one to start off with as an example. You see in this matrix that I have 2 directly sponsored people at my first level and 1 person that I did not sponsor. You see the person on the left, which is this one here, that probably is a bit more active than the other ones, because there you already have 3 people underneath and then again 2 people underneath that. So this is what I would consider a stronger networker than the other person. This I don't know, because that's overflow from my upline. The forced matrix works as follows. Let's take an empty position. So we take an empty position. We'll blank out the screen name so that everybody's clear. So if the upline of this person sponsors positions or sponsors people that come in and that pay for this level of the matrix, paying either through buying the matrix position or through earning it with withdrawing money from the Avenue Red share. The first goes left, the second goes in the middle, the next goes into the right. At the next level up, first position there, second position there, next position there. Then again, middle, 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 the right position, the right position, the right position. So that is the way those matrices get filled up. Okay, so guys, the matrix is important. That is where the money is. That is where the gold is. The matrix gives you 5% of the fee of everybody who falls into your matrix, and that's 6 times for each of the 6 matrices. So if you can afford it, my recommendation is really, guys, buy all the matrices now, get in as soon as possible, because once the revenue ad share program, people start withdrawing money out of that, 5% of their withdrawal is put into the saving to safeguard their position into the matrix. So you will have people falling into the matrix that you don't have a clue where they're coming from. If you have an active upline, an active sponsor that actively promotes the system, like we do, then you will have overflow from your upline. Overflow by definition means spillover coming from people above you that do a registration. Okay, so guys, don't miss out on this. It is a huge opportunity. Now let's imagine that you take only the first 4 levels of the matrix. If I take these earnings together, which means you put in 185 bucks, not more than that, and if I add these 4 together, if I'm not mistaken, that would be like 819,000 euros return or dollars return. $819,000 return. Okay, this is what I call a no-brainer. Good luck, go for it, guys. Bye bye.